Hello, beautiful Taurus friends, and welcome to our August 2021 reading. I am such a fan of the energy of August. There is this magic in the air. Probably I'm partial because it's my birthday month, but there's something special happening this year in August, and I keep getting goosebumps like every time I sit with August. Something's happening with this. It is a month of deep clarity. And for Taurus, I really love it because Uranus will be going retrograde this month near the end of Leo season on August 19th in your sign. Your friend Uranus has been with you for a little bit now, right? I think at this point, maybe you found your footing in the work that you're doing there with Uranus, and will be retrograde till basically the end of the year. And this is a wonderful thing. Uranus joins all the other planets, so Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter in retrograde. And this is a wonderful time to get grounded in how you've changed, how you've grown, to kind of make sense of the last 7 months, like the entire first chunk of 2021. I think the last retrograde of Uranus ended in January of this year. So you can kind of think about like what's happened, how have you grown, how have you changed from mid-January of this year to now? What has felt really good? What has felt really supportive? Also, what have you noticed has fallen away or shifted? This is a wonderful time to be able to kind of see clearly. And I would also say, and this is something that's coming up for me, and I think is a really useful thing to just share as guidance or support, which is, if there are things that have left in your growth and your change, right? Like, it's so exciting to grow and change. It's so exciting to become our best version of ourselves, to move through the world in our authentic ways. But, when we go through big changes, we also leave behind versions of ourselves, places, sometimes like friendships or relationships or identities or routines that meant something really important to us at another point in our lives. And it's so important to let yourself feel that grief if you haven't given yourself a pause to do so at some point in this year. August can give you actually like a very grounded, calm moment to do just that. Because even though we're in Leo season, Leo is another fixed sign. It's a very stable creative energy. So it's there to help us play the long game. And for you, this is going to be fourth house emotive energy, the truth in our moonlit inner knowing and truth. So this is a beautiful time for you to incorporate, to get clear, to kind of clear out the clutter in the attic, right? And take a deep breath and recalibrate from all of that change. And what just came to mind when I was sitting here, because I really do think for you, the Uranus retrograde stationing and all that energy moving through Leo is going to be the biggest highlights of this month for you and your growth, where you're going to be feeling it the most. But I was thinking about it too, because very shortly here in the beginning of 2022, and this is giving me goosebumps too, the north node of the moon is going to move into your sign. So the next time that Uranus goes direct, right around that time in January, the north node moves into Taurus. And I was thinking about how big that's going to be. My north node is in Taurus, so I'm excited to have a north node return. There's going to be a lot that's happening in 2022, a lot of beautiful things. And I think August is such a gorgeous time to get clear, connected into that north node and Taurus energy already. Not to jump to January and just skip to that part, but because time is it's all a construct, right? And how we feel about our January now connects us to it, builds a bridge to it. And I think this month is a really important bridge building month for you all. So this is a month of review, incorporation, clearing out the clutter, getting honest, supporting yourself, There's going to be a lot of energy moving through Leo. Virgo energy is going to start moving on into Libra. Both Mercury and Venus will move through Virgo and then move into Libra this month. We have a new moon in Leo, which is that fourth house hidden energy for you. And we have a full moon in Aquarius, which is going to be amplifying where you're meant to go in the bigger picture. So this is just, it's a really beautiful month. There's a calmness. This is not a chaotic month. You know, we are far away from eclipse season. We are far away from Mercury retrograde, where we are in a place where we are able to understand ourselves and see with clarity without all the noise, without all the static electricity kind of bouncing off the walls. Jupiter has also moved back into Pisces, which flows with you quite nicely. It's quite nice energy with Jupiter now in Pisces again. The Lovers came out. All right, Taurus. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, so there is just this, I feel like I can take a deep breath. Four of Cups, classic. Such an important energy. Such an important energy. It is culturally, we resist that Four of Cups. We think, oh no, but it is so important. Nine of Cups. All right, Taurus. I like what I'm seeing here. Apparently this Uranus retrograde is going to be very helpful, and High Priestess. All right. Well, this is an awesome reading and I'm super happy to see it. I am here for it. Let's do it. Ooh, yes. But remember what I said about this North Node coming towards you, Taurus? I'm very excited to see what this brings about. This is the kind of energy that North Node will bring. One thing with North Node moving through your sign, it's kind of like a spotlight. I'd say like Jupiter is a spotlight when it moves through your sign, so is North Node. It will shine bright light on any and all areas of your life and show you the way. So if there's anything you haven't wanted to address or look at, that is the double-edged nature of the North Node in your sign. But we're not there yet. We'll talk about that in January. In August, as we are letting these outer planets help us integrate, understand ourselves, connect, using these other fixed sign moons, the new moon in Leo and the full moon in Aquarius, to get us centered, you all are making connections. So the Lovers, great card. I mean, I'm not going to argue. Who doesn't love to see the Lovers? Now, there are different versions of the Lovers, and we all have our personal philosophy on this stuff, right? And far be it from me to be the one to tell you it's this way or it's that way, whatever. What I will say with the Lovers is the healthy lovers are equals who are honest with themselves first, right? Each of them is honest with themselves, and they bring that honesty, they bring that inner knowing to the table, right? That is the functioning lovers. That is the ideal situation. And generally speaking, this card denotes good communication, open communication, like the throat not being blocked, there being like an ability to say what you think and need. And I think this is so important in any close relationship, friendships, family, and definitely our lovers. But, you know, if we're looking for the truth in that other person, right? That's where the Lover's energy can get very messed up, because we'll never find it in that other person unless we're willing to hear ourselves. So it's very important. Whenever this card comes up, I'm always like, you know, this is awesome energy. Don't stop looking for the truth in yourself, though. Make sure you're doing that. And I think that's what Four of Cups is speaking to, too. And like I said, Four of Cups is a really important energy. On the one hand, you can look at this card and see a guy who is really obsessed with the past, with what's already occurred, with how little it is, not feeling gratitude, not feeling like it's enough, not even having an open-hearted mind to realize that more is coming in, right? That is one way to see this card. But here's the thing, fours in tarot to me are so important because fours are always about a culminating rest energy that is necessary for the next chapter. And if you try and skip that four energy and just be in go mode all the time, what happens is that four energy will find you. That rest incorporation energy will find you in an inconvenient time. So it's better to let yourself feel your resistance, maybe your frustration, maybe where you're feeling shut down or blinded. And relax into it. Don't judge it. Just witness it with compassion. And when you do that, what ends up happening is you can see that cup coming in, that fourth cup that wants to meet you, that wants you to see it, that wants to hang out, that wants to connect. And for me, the Four of Cups is that intimate conversation we have with ourselves where we take a deep breath, we notice where we're resisting our own growth, we notice where we're getting scared, where we're wanting to maybe sabotage or push away or, feel uncomfortable with, not ready for, whatever the case may be. It's such an important medicinal moment, right? It is just a meditative moment to let that resistant part of ourselves have its moment to breathe. Because whatever's going on with this lover situation, right? This deep connection that's popping up here in August. And it is a very romantic, powerful month. I was thinking about it because Mercury is going to be moving through its home sign of Virgo for most of the month. Venus is going to be moving through its home sign of Libra. Well, it's also your home sign, but Libra for most of the month. The sun is moving through Leo in its home sign for most of the month. There's this symbiosis with the energies here that's very calm. And something's getting amplified here. Some deep spiritual knowing is getting amplified here with Nine of Cups and High Priestess. And I think these energies are really interesting because they're not complicated. The wisdom they impart, the messages they impart are always clear. It's not complicated. You don't have to write the storyline for all the past, for the haunted house, for the past lives, for karma, all that stuff, right? We sometimes really get intrigued by. Nine of Cups and High Priestess is telling me, go with the things that bring you peace. Go with the things that light you up. Go with the things that you know you want. Now, that's not to say it's not scary to show up, right? To show up at that blank page, whatever the blank page may be for you. We all have our blank page for the project or the learning that we are doing, right? But we know what it is, even if it's a little scary and a little vulnerable to show up at that blank page. We know what the blank page is, and we know we want it deep down, and it's something that doesn't leave us alone. And August is a really, really wonderful month to hear it clearly. Like I said, without all the static electricity of everything else going on, there is a clarity, clairvoyance to the month. I love that High Priestess showed up here for you. I think Tauruses appreciate some High Priestess energy, that is for sure. Because her message is listen inside, really hear me without trying to edit it into what you think it needs to be, without trying to edit it into the right answer, right? Sometimes I think on our spiritual journeys, we go in, right, wanting to be the best of ourselves. We want to shed our prejudices and where we maybe, are just holding on to cultural standards and things like that. We have this really beautiful desire to rise above those things. That's a good intention, but sometimes we have preferences or needs in life that in this purest, radical version of the world where we are just spirit and we're just soul and we shouldn't need to be attached to any of these things. We need to rise above that. There is a toxicity that starts to creep in when it undercuts our preferences, our needs, our desires, our joys, the things that when our animal body is connected to it, it feels good to let ourselves feel the connection and not the detachment. And High Priestess here is saying, come back to that. The goal is not to be in constant detachment, floating, departed from our physical selves, but to fully feel our spirit flowing through our physical and letting ourselves follow that path. And I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm kind of just letting myself be open in these readings this month, and letting the messages and spirit speak through me. Unblocking myself. Speaking of blocking myself, I've been so blocked during this last year and a half in so many ways that I'm only now starting to understand and opening back up and just hearing what's coming through. But you have good stuff here. I mean, this reading is actually really beautiful, but what I'm saying is you're allowed to want what you want. You're allowed to feel the call to what you want. You're allowed to feel peace and joy in that. It's not something that makes you less than or not spiritual or not worthy. If it's a preference you have, listen to it, hear it out. It wants to hold you. It wants to take you forward with it. And, you know, that can look like so many different things: a creative project, relationships, moving, how you identify with yourself, spiritual healing. I mean, there's so many ways this can show up in your life. You have the support, so go with it. I have a toast for my beautiful Taurus friends. I love you all so much. May this month bring joy and clarity to you all. May your creative spirit soar in the direction that is calling to you. Listening to that High Priestess, right? Letting that High Priestess say it out loud. Yes, own it. Affirm it. Show up radically to it. Yes. May the love surrounding you be bright and unconditional and unwavering. Yes. And may you have ease. That one gets underestimated. I think the may you have ease one, we kind of skip over that one, but you know what? It's a powerful practice. Oh, I'm so loving these cards for you. And I hope you know that however much I got on my tangent, that you have the support and the love here, but you have to let yourself follow it. And don't be afraid to share your preferences. Don't be afraid to share your soul preferences. Don't be afraid to let that High Priestess energy support you in letting that inner light pop open. I'm so excited to see what this will bring you. Of course, one of my favorite Tauruses, PinkLune, she has her jewelry on her Etsy shop, so I'll leave her link. Also, I am going to be sharing a lot of my personal journey over on my Patreon, so I'd love to see you over there and connect with you more. It's a really wonderful space. It really helps me out to keep providing all of this free content, but I also love being here, so I would love it if you liked and subscribed. Truly, 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 it means so much to me. So much. I will see you so soon, my beautiful Taurus family, and have a gorgeous August. Cheers to you.